Origins of America's Richest Man. John D. Rockefeller, before the fortune. Intro. Before the oil. Before the empire. Before John D. Rockefeller became the richest American who ever lived. Before Standard Oil. Before billions, monopolies, and controversy. There was a question people couldn't stop asking. Where did this man come from? In the early 1900s, as Rockefeller rivaled Andrew Carnegie for the title of the world's richest man, an unusual debate erupted across Europe. France and Germany both claimed him. Each wanted to be known as the ancestral homeland of the man whose wealth had reshaped modern capitalism. Genealogists eagerly stepped forward for a generous fee, offering to construct a noble lineage worthy of royalty. Rockefeller's response was blunt and revealing. I have no desire to trace myself back to the nobility. I am satisfied with my good old American stock. And yet, the story of that American stock turned out to be far more complex and far more influential than anyone expected. Chapter 1. The Myth of Noble Blood. Some historians once claimed Rockefeller descended from a medieval French family, the Rockefeller, said to have lived in a chateau in southern France as early as the 9th century. It was a beautiful story. It was also wrong. Modern research dismantled the myth. Rockefeller's true roots were not French nobility, but German farmers. The Rockefeller lineage can be traced with certainty to the Rhine Valley, as far back as the early 1600s. Hardworking, practical, unremarkable, and that mattered. Chapter 2. The First Rockefeller in America. Around 1723, a miller named Johann Peter Rockefeller made a decision that would echo through centuries. He gathered his wife and 5 children, boarded a ship bound for Philadelphia, and crossed the Atlantic. From there, the family settled on farms in New Jersey, where Johann Peter prospered, accumulated land, and laid the foundations of the Rockefeller presence in America. Years later, another branch followed. Johann's cousin D.L. Rockefeller emigrated from southwest Germany and settled in New York. Their descendants would eventually intertwine in a marriage that shaped the future of the Rockefeller dynasty. John D. Rockefeller himself felt little sentimental attachment to his European ancestors. But he did one thing. He erected a monument to Johann Peter Rockefeller, the patriarch who first dared to cross the ocean. Chapter 3. A Marriage of Opposites. That union produced a man named Godfrey Rockefeller, John D. Rockefeller's grandfather. And Godfrey was not a model of success. In 1806, Godfrey married Lucy Avery in Great Barrington, Massachusetts. Lucy's family was alarmed. In their view, she had married down, and they weren't entirely wrong. The Averys were old New England stock, Puritans who had arrived in Massachusetts in the 1630s. Their family history included ministers, soldiers, civic leaders, traders, explorers, and fighters who had battled Native American tribes during the colonial era. During the American Revolution, 11 Averys fought at the Battle of Groton. Lucy could even trace her ancestry back to King Edmund Ironside of England, crowned in the year 1016. The Rockefellers, by contrast, had no such pedigree, and this contrast would shape generations. Chapter 4. Failure as a family lesson. Godfrey Rockefeller tried his hand at farming and business, and he failed. Repeatedly, his ventures collapsed. Money was scarce. Stability elusive. The family moved again and again, from Granger to Ancram, back to Great Barrington, and then to Livingston, New York. For young Rockefellers, life became uncertain and restless, and Godfrey himself became a warning. By all accounts, he was kind, jovial, and warm, but he was also feckless and deeply fond of alcohol. Lucy Avery Rockefeller despised this weakness. She developed an unyielding hatred of liquor, a hatred she would later pass on to her grandson, John D. Rockefeller. In Godfrey, John would later see something dangerous. A man whose charm masked lack of discipline. A man whose good humor concealed poor judgment. From his grandfather, John learned a lesson that would shape his entire personality. Bonhomie and weakness often walked together. He would grow up preferring sober, restrained, emotionally controlled men. People who mastered themselves. Chapter 5. The Westward Gamble. Sometime between 1832 and 1835, the Rockefellers made another pivotal move. They packed their belongings into an overloaded Conestoga wagon and headed west. Why? The truth remains uncertain. Some accounts claim the family lost their land in a bitter title dispute with English investors. Others suggest Godfrey was deceived by a businessman into trading his farm for supposedly richer land. A cruel hoax, if true. Still others believe Godfrey intended to move all the way to Michigan. But Lucy refused, unwilling to abandon the familiar culture of New York for the frontier wilderness. Whatever the reason, the Rockefellers were doing something profoundly American. They were starting over. Once again. Chapter 6. The DNA of Rockefeller. This journey, this instability, left a deep imprint on the family. From Lucy, the Rockefellers inherited discipline, moral rigidity, and a belief in self-control. From Godfrey, they inherited a powerful cautionary tale. A reminder of what happens when charm replaces discipline and ambition lacks structure. John D. Rockefeller would absorb these lessons completely. He would seek control where others gambled, stability where others chased excitement, order where others accepted chaos. And from this unlikely mix, failed ventures, moral rigidity, restless migration, and relentless caution, the richest American in history would eventually emerge, not from nobility, not from privilege, but from hard lessons learned early. Closing. Before the fortune, long before oil wells and corporate empires, long before boardrooms and billions, John D. Rockefeller's world was shaped by migration, failure, discipline, and restraint. His fortune did not begin with oil. It began with character, with lessons learned from men who failed, from women who endured, from families who moved west when opportunity disappeared. This was the soil from which the Rockefeller empire grew. And this was a lesson untold. If you found this story eye-opening, subscribe for more stories that reveal the lessons hidden in plain sight. This has been Lessons Untold. Relax, review, reflect,